All right. It's going to be the follow-up part 2. So these numbers here, these are the B1 graph. Go back, show you what we did. Come down here to B1. So we use this parameter. Now, let me show you where I got that parameter from. Came back up here. Show only parameters of the engine. Go to fuel trims, B1. So that's what we did. Then you got to go and you got to do your engine RPMs. So let's come up here. And then we take a column, we copy our labels, come back down over here, paste them in RPM scale, and then we do the same thing for the pressure ratio. All right, so we got that out of the way. That's how we start this. So we copy and pasted everything and then created tune number 1. Called it VE1 parenthesis 1. Did another 40 some odd minute drive, and then took that information, copy and pasted it over to create VE1 parenthesis 2. You notice the numbers are a little better. They're not great, but they're better. Okay, so then we did that same function, copy and pasted, multiplied by half. The third tune, VE1 parenthesis 3. And it's not any better. If anything, that went the other way. All right. And to prove a point, copy and pasted everything and created VE1 parenthesis 4. All right. And obviously you can see this is a mess. So wound up reloading tune number 2 because that was the best one so far. All right. So now that's what tune number 2 looked like after a 40-minute drive, about 20 days after we put it back in. All right. So now, why did I choose tune number 2? So let's go back to tune number 1. And then I have, we'll explain this in a little bit, okay? Total VE minus BE, BVE, okay? So that's what the original tune looked like. Now, all this stuff right in here, this is our idle area, okay? And this here, again, is when you do a key start. This is the first couple columns that, or I shouldn't say columns, first couple cells that the engine goes through during initial startup. All right, and like I said, all this right in here at 30, between 608, 800, 922, 35, up to 922. This right in here, this is your idle area. And a lot of this is your normal cruise area, all right? This is like your 35, 40 miles an hour cruise type of stuff, quarter throttle, no throttle. When you let off the gas, you know, you're floating around in this area here, okay? So now, let's go to the first tune. And then we're going to come over, if we can find the damn thing. Again, our T1, our TVE minus B1. And you notice, we got a lot of zeros up through in here. And we got that little spot in there where it's a -1, but our idle still needs work. Okay? So then that's when we go to our number 2. Now let's come over and then look at all those zeros. And you got some high RPM work that needs to be done. It's a little bit of, we're still missing out a little bit on the low end of the idle. And in this spot right in here, this is like when you get a lot of load, your top of 4th gear, top of 3rd gear, and it doesn't want to shift down. That's where this area is here, okay? So we're going to look at the 3rd one. And again, we're going to come over to our BV1. And that is just a mess, all right? And that's what you get when you just keep doing it and doing it and doing it and you don't check on it. All right, so now I'm going to click out of this and then I'll be right back. All right, so one of the tools I create to help me deal with this, and all right, let's go over here. One of the tools that I use to help me deal with a lot of this stuff is a math parameter, all right? I'm going to take a photo of this in a little bit. This math parameter is total volume efficiency, bank 1, and base volume efficiency, bank 1. So basically what I do is I take the parameter of total and I minus the base. Hence, that's why it's called TV minus BV, bank 1, okay? So what we do is we go and we create a graph. Let's come into our graph layout. And it's just like anything else you would do. It's TV1, that's your main parameter. And then your engine RPM with your current scale, your pressure ratio with your current scale. All right, now why do I do this? So this here is the original bass tune, or I'm sorry, this is 1.4. All right, so this here is the original bass tune. Now, you can see that's what the total VE minus base VE. That's what our numbers are. Now, if we go back to our B1 number, you can see how far out that B1 was. All right. So, like I said, we'll come back over here. Those numbers look better. It's not how we tune it, but they look better. So now this is number 2, or I'm sorry, this is tune number 1. This is the first VE tune. So that's what they all look like. So now, this is the second tune. So our total VE minus our base VE, we get zeros everywhere. So let's come up to this guy here, which was our third tune. See how blown out all that stuff is? In all our daily driving, all our normal operating range. We got a block down here where the total VE is +1. Got another block where it's +1. A lot of higher RPM. It's all zeros. So then let's come over here to number 4, which really look like crap. So that's number 4. See, all those numbers are blown out. So that's why, like I said, I went back to this tune here. So I pulled tune number 4 and reloaded it with tune number 1. And the reason I did that was because, like I said, even though the bass, even though the B1 or long-term, short-term trims, even though they still need work, all right? The reality is it only needs work in small and up in here. I can live with that, all right? I mean, to me, that's fine. All right, now, I'll be back.